Brands on Brands.
Hey, what's up, everyone? This week we are talking about taking action, the motivation you may need to get moving on that big dream you have. Check it out.
In a world where content is king and your reputation is your brand, how do you build a brand that matters? Welcome to Brands on Brands, a home for those that think different and push their boundaries. This is where branding that matters lives. Now, here is your host, Brandon Birkmeyer.
Hey, what's up? It's Brandon here, Brandon Birkmeyer from Brands on Brands, your personal branding coach. And I believe that building a brand that matters today is the only way to thrive tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you guys being here. Today, we're talking about taking action. That's right, taking action. You know, I believe that there's a lot of you out there, including me in my past life and even today, that have some limits, some things that are stopping you from taking action on the things that you really want in your life. And I know that sounds a little woo-woo, but let's do that. Let's go there today.
Brands on Brands.
Now, I wanted to start by sharing a little story, which is, you know, I am an admitted over analytical thinker. I am, the analysis paralysis guy. Any decision in my life, in my family's life, in my business, I have the capability of over analyzing it to the smallest degree, right? I think about every possible outcome. I do the extra research to a fault, to the point of analysis paralysis, to the point of not making decisions that could benefit from being made more quickly, right? Am I the only one guilty of this? I don't think so, right? There's a lot of us out there that's just our personality type. And in a lot of cases, that could benefit us. That could be a real advantage to having the time to think things through. But there is times where action and having a push to make a decision and move in a direction is going to be the best course for an individual. So I know for me, when I get, the idea of something that I'm excited about, I often bury that under trying to analyze what's the right direction. Am I doing this right? Do I need to think about it? Is there a step I need to do first? And what I would encourage you guys to do is to figure out, are there things in your life that you should be taking action on first? And you can look at the risk there, but just decide, can I take a step in the direction towards something that I want today that's going to help me tomorrow, that isn't really going to hurt me if it's the wrong step? Because you can always go backwards for a lot of decisions that you're making out there. And I bring that up as, maybe there's a framework out there for us to think about. And for me, I know when I was thinking about leaving corporate and starting a business, I had lots of plans, right? I had bought lots of website URLs. I even, in some cases, started designing a website and trying to word, what it was that I thought I could do to help people in terms of like what the business would be called and what it would look like and what my services were. But it was all in my mind and I was trying to put it out there on paper, but really it was just this over agonizing thought process. And it wasn't really until I started just going out there and taking action that I started to find myself a little bit. And the first part of that action was really using my voice more. It was really getting my thoughts out of my head and onto a podcast, onto a blog, or onto a video that helped me start to really understand what my perspectives were, what the things were that I like to talk about, to coach about, to teach, to mentor on. But I had to go through the process of using my voice and getting those things out of my head first. And if all I tried to do first was think about what are the things I want to talk about, it would never have happened. I really had to just push the button, hit start, and get recording those ideas that I had in my head for me to actually make any movement. And through that process of taking action and doing something every week, I actually started to find clarity in the things that I wanted to really accomplish. And that's maybe the framework that I'd outline for you guys is really think of it as like you have thinking, you have feeling, and you have doing, right? And a lot of us go in that first order. We think about something, until we have like a really clear idea and we've checked all the boxes, especially if you're analytical. And then we start to feel good about it. We kind of commit to it and put some emotions behind it, get excited about it, right? That's the feeling part. And then we start doing something about it. By the time we take action, though, we might have delayed a long time in that thinking process. It might have been months for some of us before we ever took action. And what that ends up doing is it puts a lot of pressure on that action. So if you hit one little failure, you might take 2 steps backwards and you get back to the thinking again. And you're now overanalyzing, and it might take you months again before you have enough courage to take an action. And guess what else happened? The emotion part of it, the feelings part of it are now negative going into it because you had a failure and you're worried that that's going to happen again. So now when you're in the thinking process, you're factoring those feelings in, and now the analysis takes twice as long because you're overthinking it and overfeeling it instead of just taking another action. So what I'd invite you to do is to reverse that process, to start with the taking action, the doing first, and then the feeling, and then the thinking. In other words, get out there, take some small steps to put your energy into something that you are looking to build, that you're looking to do, or at very least into an opinion or a perspective or an idea you have in your head. Take action to get it out, to express it in some way. And I think that's the best way to take action, is really to find a way to express the things that you are trying to accomplish physically, to physically get them out of you. And that action could be anything small. It could be writing something down. It could be recording something. It could be networking. It could be talking to other people. But the first thing to do is to take some action that would move you towards the right direction. And for some of you, that might be getting around other people that may have been doing the thing that you're trying to do. Get around other business owners, get around other entrepreneurs, talk to them about your ideas. Find a mentor, talk to the mentors and the coaches about your idea. That action, A, is going to bring you knowledge, but B, is going to start the process of you moving towards the things that you like. And when you start taking actions like that first, whether it's a failure or just a stumble or a success, you are action oriented first. So every step, you just know that, okay, well, I'm just going to be taking another step after this one. And every step then creates an emotion. Every step, right or wrong, creates added experience, which, whether it's confidence or it's something learned from that step, that's going to add to your confidence long term. It's going to add to your experience and your knowledge base long term. And all those feelings of being committed to an idea, of expressing it, and the positivity of just knowing that you've been taking steps are going to embolden you and give you confidence. And then after you've taken some action, after you've got some emotion tied into those because you've been taking those right steps, then I invite you to think about what those steps have been and start to process on what you want to do next. What is the next step? What is the next right thing that you could be doing to create more action? Not even to like limit risk, but to take more action in your life. So go down that chart, doing, feeling, thinking. How can you go in that order and reverse the process, especially for my analytical types out there? And I think you'll be better for it. And if any of you out there are, because this happened to me when I was creating my podcast, I was, overthinking it to start with, but it really took getting another person on my team, getting a coach and out there to really help me just start to take action day by day. And I wasn't even allowed to overthink it because I had someone helping guide me along that. If you're there and you need someone to either help you with, whether it's a podcast or content creation, or just to move you along on your business journey, hit me up. I'm happy to be there for you and to be someone to bounce your ideas off of as in terms of accountability or coaching. So if you want to, you can always reach out to me. That's brandsonbrands.com/coach. I'm happy to work with you guys, especially anyone who's looking to build the business around their experience. A personal brand, I know it's a funny term, but anything where you want to take your experience in an industry and turn it into a coaching business or turn it into something that is based around your reputation. I'm happy to help you with that. I'm happy to at least have the conversation to help you take action first and move you one step further towards your goal. I hope that is inspiring today. I hope to see more of you out there using your voice, taking action, and moving towards the life that you hope to build for yourself. Appreciate you guys listening, and I will catch you next time.
You've just taken your marketing knowledge to another level with this episode of Brands on Brands. But we have plenty more ways to help you build a brand that matters. Head over to brandsonbrands.com for resources, as well as access to our blogs, videos, and exclusive coaching sessions with your host. Be sure to visit brandsonbrands.com.